Students. So in the last video we have seen we have started the chapter 7 OpenOffice Calc, and we have seen some of the introduction part related to the OpenOffice Calc. What is OpenOffice Calc, what is a spreadsheet, and features of the OpenOffice Calc, how to create a new worksheet, and the parts of the OpenOffice Calc window. So we have seen the all the parts of the OpenOffice Calc window, and what is a row, column, cell, and cell pointer. So all we have seen in the first part. So in this video we will see the some of the remaining concepts related to the OpenOffice Calc. So these are the discussion points which we are going to see in this video. So first one is working with data. So how to enter the data, how to enter the numbers, date and time. So we are going to see about the working with data. And next one is creating formula. So how to create a formula. We have seen the formula bar. So what are all the formulas available? So what are all the inbuilt predefined formula available, and how to create a new formula. So what are all the steps to construct a formula. So all these things we will be seeing in this second topic. And the third one is the operators. So what are all the various types of operators available in OpenOffice Calc. So first we will start with working with data. So introduction about how the data is to be entered, and how the navigations can be done. So first you see, whenever you open a new spreadsheet, the cell pointer, that is the rectangular box, the thick rectangular box will be available, will be located in the first cell, that is A1. So A is a column name, 1 is a row number. So that is a cell, the first cell. In that cell only the initial cell pointer will be available, that is thick rectangular box. So that we call it as a home cell. The cell A1 we call it as a home cell, and the cell pointer we can easily move with the help of the arrow keys, or we can move the cell pointer just by clicking the with help of the mouse. So that is the way to, these are the ways to move the cell pointer. And the next, here they have given some of the navigation. So how to navigate the cell pointer. So first thing, pressing the tab key. So tab key is used to move the cell towards the right, or forward. So when you press the tab key, the cell pointer will be moved one step forward or one step to the right side. And when you press shift plus tab, the shift, holding the shift key and the tab key, means the cell pointer will move left side or backward. So these are the navigation keys. So and when you press the enter key, means the cell pointer will move one step downwards below to the cell, below to the current cell. So these are the navigation keys. Apart from that, we can use the direction keys, that is arrow mark. With the help of that arrow mark, you can easily move the cell pointer. And next one we are going to see about the entering data. So with respect to the OpenOffice Calc, we can type the data anywhere in the spreadsheet, anywhere in the worksheet, in any cell. So only thing, we have to check whether the cell is a active cell or not. So in case if the cell is not an active cell, means we have to click the cell, or we can use the navigation key to make it as an active cell. So then we can type the data. So wherever we need the data to be typed, we have to ensure that first the cell is an active cell or not, by with the help of the thick rectangular box. So after moving the cursor, or with the help of the navigation key, making the cell as an active cell, we can type the data directly. So once you type the data, the spreadsheet will just capture or recognize the type of data that is entered in the cells. There are various data types available. So alphabetic data type, that is full and full characters A to Z, and numeric data types, that is numbers. So and alphanumeric, it is a combination of alphabets and numbers. So date data type and time data type, and like that, where there are various data types available in the OpenOffice Calc. So first it identifies the type of data. So what are all what are all the data we enter in the cell. First it recognizes the type of data. So based on that it works. First we see about the entering numbers. So any numbers that we enter in the spreadsheet, automatically the cell will align it to the right side of the cell within the cell. So you can able to see in the image. So the number typed is aligned right side within the cell. So that is the number alignment. So whenever you want to use negative numbers, we can use the minus sign before the number. That also will be considered as a number and it will be aligned at the right side. So this is how the numbers, when we enter the numbers, the alignment happens. So this is the differentiation whether the cell is containing the text or a number. So in case if it is a number, means the number will be aligned right side, the content will be aligned right side. In case if you are typing the text, means alphabets, so it will be aligned left side. So this is how it separates the, it have the differentiation between the numbers and the text. And next one we are going to see about the entering text. So already we told that while you enter a number, means the alignment will be right side, and when you enter the text, means the alignment will be left side. So here you see the image, the Chennai word Chennai is typed, it is a text, so it is aligned towards left. Whereas the number 458, it is a number, but that number also it is aligned left. So it is understood that the entered content, the entered number is not a number, it just captures the number as a text, because we can use the number as a text by giving a single quote. So before typing the number, when you give a single quote and type the number, means, say for example, you are typing a number 458. So before that 4, you give a single quote. When you press enter, so it accepts that number as a text. It converts that number to a text. So like that we can use the number as a text also. Next we are going to see about the entering date and time. So it is a date and time format. So before entering the date or time, first we have to ensure the system date and time format. So some system may follow American standard. So some system may follow Indian standard. The American standard means month, date, year will be available. So in case Indian format means date, month, year will be available. So only based on the system format, date format, the OpenOffice Calc accepts the date. So first we have to ensure the date format of the system. So in case if the system follows Indian format, even though you type the format in the American standard, or you change the content, change the date in the American format in the OpenOffice Calc, it will never accept. So only based on the system date format, it accepts the date whatever you enter. So for example, if the system has an American date format, that is 18th December, in your book it is given 18th December 2017. So the format will be 12/18/17. So this is the format of the American standard. So once you type the correct form, the correct date format, the date automatically will be aligned right side. So in case if you are typing the date format in the wrong format, means it will be aligned left side. So this is the indication, and also you can able to see the content in the formula bar. So we have already told that in the formula bar, the input line area will be there. There you can able to see the content of the cell, and the date format can be changed. So there are various date formats available. By right clicking the content, you can select the format cell formatting. So cell formatting dialog box will appear. From there you can change the date and time format. And next one we are going to see about creating formula. So after entering the data, so after entering we have entered various data in the worksheet. So the user can perform some calculation on the data. So in order to create a formula, or in order to implement a formula, first the user need to know the syntax, that is the predefined set of rules which are already pre-written in the OpenOffice Calc. So first the user need to know the syntax and the format for specifying the formula. So here you can able to see, so in a OpenOffice Calc, first for entering the formula there are two methods. One is either directly into the active cell, directly you can type the formula in the active cell, or with the help of the input line which is available in the formula bar. So formula in calc may start with a equal to symbol. So whenever you start writing a formula in the cell, you have to start writing with the equal to symbol, equal symbol, or a plus symbol can be used, or a minus symbol can be used. So these are the three symbols can be used for starting a formula. So by combination of the values, we can operators and cell reference, we can create the formula. So this is most commonly all the formulas, all the OpenOffice Calc formulas starts with the equal symbol. So we have given three symbols for starting the formula: equal, plus, or minus. Most commonly it is used equal to symbol. So mostly because plus and minus comes under the positive and negative sign. So we use mostly equal symbol. So before we see about the construction of steps to construction of the formula, so we see some of the operators that are available. So after knowing the operators, we will see about the how to construct a formula. So first we operators are symbols. So operator symbols which do some mathematical or statistical or logical calculations. For these three purpose we use operators. So and combination of values, operators, and cell reference. So all these we call it as in a single term we call it as a expression. So expression will contain values, operators, and cell reference. Cell reference is nothing but we are just going to refer a cell, that is with the help of the name of the cell, that is A1, A2. So by calling the name of the cell, we are going to refer the value that is available in that particular cell. So that is a cell reference. And next one is OpenOffice Calc supports, these are the operators: arithmetic, relational, reference operators, and text operator. So these are the four operators that OpenOffice Calc supports. First we see about the arithmetic operator. So arithmetic operator are symbols which performs a simple arithmetic operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, exponent, that is the power, and percentage. So all these are the arithmetic operators. Here you can able to see the values given and the examples given. So for the various, the percentage operator shows the percentage of the content. Say for example 600, so is equal to, that is formula. Here you see all the formula starts with the equal to symbol. So the values, the first value 98, 125 are in the column B. So they are given value in column B. And next one is 25, 25, 5, 10, 2, all they have given in value in column C. So they, here you can see in the formula they are using the cell reference, that is B3. So B3 means in the B column the third row. So that is the content. So B3 plus C3, like that they are referring the cells. And here in the percentage formula you can see B3 into 35 percentage, it means that it gives the result as 35% of 600, that is 72, like that the percentage works. And the exponent means power of, that is B3, the exponent operator C3 means it is 25 power 2, that is the meaning. So 625 is the answer. So this is how the arithmetic operator works. And next one we are going to see about the relational operator. So relational operator is just relate between two values or two cell reference. So it just compare two values that are available in a cells. So that we call it as a relational operator, we call it as a comparative operator. So examples are the greater than, less than, equal to, greater than or equal to, like that. So the result will be either true or false. After relating the two values, it replies either true or false. So you see the example 98 and 100, the first value greater than. So here they are creating, here also you can able to see the formula is created by starting with the equal symbol. So equal to B3 greater than C3. So it means 98 greater than 100. So it is false. So it returns false. Like that this relational operator works. And you see the not equal to symbol, that is both the less than and greater than facing each other, that is the symbol for not equal to. So when you see whether 54 is not equal to 45, they are telling that 54 is not equal to 45, it is true, so then it is written true. So this is how the relational operator works. Next one is a reference operator. So reference operator is mainly used for referring the cell ranges. So here the term range means continuous group of cells, that we call it as a range. So there are three types of reference operator available. So first one is a range reference operator, second one is a range concatenation operator, and third one is a intersection operator. So first we see about the range reference operator. So range reference operator is mainly used with the help of the colon symbol. So here it is identify the group of cell. It is identified with the help of the colon symbol. So you see the syntax here, reference left colon reference right. So it means that reference left means the starting cell, the cell address, that is say for example A1. So from A1 colon A5 means it contains A1, A2, A3, A4 and A5. So these 5 group of cells, continuous group of cells. So for creating a, for selecting the group of cells, continuous group of cells, we use this range reference operator. And next one is a reference concatenation operator. So concatenation means joining. So for this we use a tilt symbol. The tilt symbol is used as a concatenation operator, that is a reference concatenation operator. So here the same reference left tilt symbol, reference right. So here you see first the reference left will be a set of range, a continuous group of cells, and reference right will be a separate continuous group of cells. For example, here you see A1 to A6 tilt symbol and C3 to F3. So these both are different group of cells. So for combining these two we use the tilt symbol. So that is the reference concatenation operator. And next one is the intersection operator. So intersection means it is just combine two different groups and it just results the common elements between the two groups. So intersection is used to join two groups and it is more similar to the range concatenation operator, that is the reference concatenation operator. So the symbol used here is exclamation mark. So reference left, exclamation mark, reference right. So you see the example, the two different groups, that is first one reference left is A2 colon D3. So it is mentioned the A2, B2, C2, D2, that is A3, B3, C3 and D3. These are the 8 elements that are 4 in a row. 2 rows are selected, that is the first group. And the second group you see B2 to E4, B2 colon E4. So starting from the B column till E column, that is selected. So these are the two different groups. So among them there are some elements that are common, that is B2, C2, D2, B3, C3 and D3. So it is given in a dotted lines. So this is how the intersection operator works. And next one is a text operator. So in OpenOffice Calc, the AND symbol, that is ampersand symbol, is used as a text operator. So which is used to combine two or more text. Say for you can able to see the example, that is Tamil and Nadu is given in two different cells. So we are using equal to, that is a formula, text reference 1 and symbol and text reference 2, that is B3 and C3, that is a cell address. So when you the result will be when you give enter after typing the formula in the formula bar, so the result will be stored in the D3. So that is Tamil Nadu. It combines the two different set of text. So that we call it as a text concatenation. So that we call it as a text concatenation. So after seeing the set of operators in OpenOffice Calc, now we see about the how to construct a formula. So what are all the steps to be involved while creating a formula? So first one is the cell pointer should be in the cell where the result to be displayed. So say for example, we are going to use the A column, B column as a input. So we need the result in the C column, means the cell pointer must be available in the C column. Say for example, third row. If you want to display the result in the C column, third row means the cell pointer must be in the C3. So that is the first thing. And the formula should begin with an equal to sign, so that we know we can use the equal to sign. We can directly type the formula in the C3 itself, or we can type the formula in the formula bar in the input line. So in formula we use only cell reference, that is a cell address. Cell address, instead of the actual values we use the cell address. So in case if any change in the values means the result automatically gets updated. So if you give direct value means the result will not get updated once you make any changes. So that is why we use cell address directly. So while constructing a formula, the BODMAS rule will be applied. So which is similar to the mathematics, the bracket of exponent, division, multiplication, addition, subtraction. This is the order. So how it executes the formula. And you see the general syntax is equal to cell reference 1. Say for example A2. Operator means we can use any operators, and cell reference 2, that is second cell, and the again operator, like that it goes on. So this is the syntax for constructing a formula. It is most important. So this is how the steps for creating a formula. So for constructing a formula, these are all the steps to be followed. And next one is a cell reference. So we are talking about the term cell reference while constructing the formula, because only the cell reference are used in the formula. So there are two types of cell reference available. So one is a relative cell reference and next one is a absolute cell reference. So the first, the relative cell reference means directly the cell address will be given in the formula. While constructing a formula, the cell address directly will be given, will be used. So that is the relative cell reference. So here you see the example. So A1 plus B1 plus C1 plus D1, directly the cell address given. So the, and next in the absolute cell reference, so you see a dollar symbol is added in between both the column name and also the row number. So that is the difference, first difference between the relative and absolute cell reference. Whereas in relative the address will be directly given, whereas in absolute you will be adding a dollar symbol both in the column name and also in the row number. So it is not mandatory to use in both the column name and row number. We can use either in column name or in row number. It is based on the need, based on the requirement we can use the dollar symbol. So this is the first difference. And the second difference between these two, the relative and absolute, is they behave, both the relative and absolute reference behave differently when the content is copied and filled to other cells. So with this